The Discovery Supreme Commander Zalavos stood in the observation deck of her flagship, the Eternal Dominion, watching another world burn. The green planet below had once been home to the Kellic species, a peaceful race of farmers and artists. Now their cities glowed orange against the night, and smoke rose from their broken civilization. It had taken exactly 4 hours to conquer them. Zala was a tall, graceful being with silver skin that reflected the light of burning worlds. Her people, the Valians, had built the greatest empire the galaxy had ever seen. In 3,000 years, they had conquered 800 worlds. No species had ever successfully resisted them. Their strategy was simple and effective, overwhelming force applied with precision timing. Commander called her aide, a young Valian named Kex Thorn. "We have reports from the forward scout fleet. They've found something unusual." Zala turned from the viewport. Her violet eyes held the cold efficiency of a predator. "Define unusual." "A star system on the edge of our expansion zone. The third planet shows signs of advanced civilization, but our readings are ... confusing." Kex hesitated, which was unusual for him. He was normally confident and direct. "Show me the data." The command center's main screen activated, displaying a star map. A small yellow star appeared, with several planets orbiting it. The third planet was highlighted in blue and green. It looked peaceful, almost inviting. "The inhabitants call themselves humans," Kex continued. "They have space travel technology, but it's primitive. Their fastest ships would take months to travel distances we cover in days. They have no energy shields, no plasma weapons, no antimatter drives." Zala studied the planet. "Then why are we wasting time discussing them? Send a standard conquest fleet. 3 ships should be sufficient." "That's just it, Commander. Our scouts ran detailed scans of their world. Look at these energy signatures." The display changed, showing complex graphs and charts. Zala had seen thousands of similar reports, but this one was different. The numbers were impossible. "These readings indicate massive amounts of destructive energy," Kex explained. "More than we've ever detected from a single world. But it's not coming from power plants or weapons factories. It's coming from everywhere." Zala moved closer to the screen. "Explain." "The entire planet appears to be fortified. Every major population center has defensive installations. Every region has armies. Every coast has naval forces. They have weapons we've never seen before, and they have thousands of different types. Perhaps they're at war with each other." "That's what we thought at first. But Commander, they're always at war with each other. Our historical scans show continuous warfare for over 10,000 years. They've never stopped fighting." Zala felt something she hadn't experienced in decades: uncertainty. In all her years of conquest, she had never encountered a species that fought constantly. Most civilizations had small conflicts, then long periods of peace, but these humans seemed to live for battle. "What kind of weapons do they have?" Kex activated another display. Images appeared showing human military equipment. Zala saw massive metal vehicles with large cannons, flying machines that moved faster than sound, and ships that could destroy entire cities with single weapons. "They call these tanks," Kex said, pointing to the ground vehicles. "They have over 300 different designs, each one built to fight in different conditions. Desert tanks, jungle tanks, city tanks, mountain tanks. They've created specialized weapons for every possible battlefield, and their aircraft, even more diverse. Fighters, bombers, transport planes, helicopter gunships, Stealth aircraft. They've turned their sky into a weapons platform. Zala studied. The images, the human technology looked crude compared to Valian equipment, but there was something disturbing about the variety. Most species developed a few effective weapons and used them everywhere, but humans seem to have created different solutions for every possible combat situation. Show me their space capabilities. The display showed human spacecraft. They were indeed primitive, but they had many different designs. Some were built for speed, others for heavy lifting, still others for long-distance travel. Even their space technology showed the same pattern, multiple solutions for different problems. Commander Kex said quietly, "There's something else. We intercepted some of their communications. They have detailed records of over 14,000 major wars, millions of smaller conflicts. They study every battle, learn from every defeat, and improve their tactics constantly." Zala felt a chill run through her silver skin. They learn from warfare. More than that, they seem to use war as a teaching tool. Each conflict makes them stronger, smarter, more dangerous. They've turned fighting into a science. On the distant planet Earth, Captain Alina Rodriguez sat in her command chair aboard the Deep Space Patrol vessel New Horizon. She was a veteran of the United Earth Space Force, with short black hair and intelligent brown eyes. Her ship was small but fast, designed for long-range reconnaissance missions. Captain called her science officer, Dr. Marcus Chen. "We're detecting unusual energy signatures at the edge of the system. 3 objects, definitely artificial, moving in formation." Alina studied the readings. Size, large, much larger than anything we've built. Each one is approximately 2 kilometers long. Elena's training kicked in. She had studied every known spacecraft design, and these didn't match anything in human records. Are they sending any signals? Negative. They're running silent, but their engines are giving off massive energy signatures. Technology we've never seen before. Alina made a decision that would change human history. Sound General Quarters. Contact Earth Command immediately. Tell them we have visitors. The New Horizons crew moved with practiced efficiency. Alina had trained them well, and they responded to the crisis with calm professionalism. Within minutes, the ship was ready for anything. "Captain," Dr. Chen called out, "they're scanning us. Very detailed scans. They're learning everything about our ship. Can we scan them back?" "Trying, but their technology is more advanced than ours. I'm getting basic structural data, but their systems are shielded." Alina activated the ship's communication system. "Unknown vessels. This is Captain Alina Rodriguez of the United Earth Space Force. You are in sovereign Earth space. Please identify yourselves and state your intentions." The response came immediately, translated into perfect English by technology far beyond human capabilities. The voice was female, cold and commanding. "Small vessel, you will stand down. We are conducting a survey of this system. Your cooperation is required." Alina looked at her crew. They were scared, but they trusted her. "I'm sorry, but I can't allow unauthorized scanning of our territory. Please explain your presence here." There was a pause, then something that might have been laughter. "Your territory? You have 1 primitive ship. We have 3 battle cruisers. Stand down immediately." Alina felt her heart rate increase, but her voice remained steady. "I'm afraid I can't do that. This system is under Earth protection. I'm ordering you to cease your scans and withdraw. Then you have chosen to be destroyed." The alien ships began moving toward the New Horizon. Alina could see weapon systems activating along their hulls. She had seconds to make a decision that would affect the fate of humanity. All hands, prepare for evasive maneuvers. Dr. Chen, send everything we've learned to Earth Command. Emergency transmission, all frequencies. The new horizon was fast and maneuverable. Alina used every trick she had learned in 20 years of piloting. She dove between asteroids, used the ship's small size to hide behind space debris, and changed course unpredictably. The alien weapons were powerful, but Alina noticed something important. Their tactics were straightforward. They simply chased her ship and fired when they had a clear shot. They didn't try to anticipate her moves or set up complex attacks. They're not used to fighting someone who fights back, Alina told her crew. They're expecting us to run in a straight line. For 20 minutes, Alina led the alien ships on a wild chase through the asteroid belt. When they got close, she would duck behind a large rock or change direction suddenly. Her crew worked frantically to gather intelligence on the alien technology. "Captain," Dr. Chen called out, "I'm detecting something interesting. Their weapons are incredibly powerful, but they're all the same type. No variety, no specialization. They have one solution for everything." Alina smiled grimly. "That's not how humans fight." Eventually, the alien ships stopped pursuing. They had learned what they came to learn. Alina watched as they moved away from Earth's solar system, but she knew they would be back. "Dr. Chen, what did they learn about us?" "Everything, Captain. They scanned our ship, our weapons, our crew. They probably scanned Earth itself while we were fighting." Alina stared at the disappearing alien ships. "Then they know what we're capable of. Do they, Captain?" Alina thought about human history. Thousands of years of warfare, millions of battles, countless innovations born from conflict. "No," she said finally. "They think they know, but they have no idea what they've just awakened." On the Valian flagship, Supreme Commander Zalavos studied the encounter data. The human ship had been fast and clever, but more importantly, the pilot had used tactics she had never seen before. The human had turned what should have been a simple chase into a complex game of cat and mouse. "Analysis," she ordered. The human vessel was inferior in every way, Kex reported. Weaker weapons, no shields, slower in straight-line speed. But their pilot used unconventional tactics. Instead of fleeing, they used the environment as a weapon. Zala studied the tactical display. They turned asteroids into cover. More than that, they led us through the most dangerous parts of the asteroid field. If we had been less skilled, we might have been damaged. One ship did this. Yes, Commander. One ship with primitive technology, but the pilot thought like a warrior. Zala felt the uncertainty growing. What about their planet? Our deep scans confirmed the earlier reports. The entire world is militarized. Every nation has armies. Every city has defenses. They have weapons, systems we've never encountered before. Zala moved to the tactical display. "Show me their military structure." The display showed a complex web of military organizations. "They don't have one unified army," Kex explained. "They have hundreds of different military forces, each with their own traditions, tactics, and equipment. It's like fighting dozens of different species. That should make them easier to defeat. Divided forces are weak forces. Normally, yes. But these humans have been fighting each other for millennia. Each military tradition has been tested in battle thousands of times. They've eliminated everything that doesn't work and perfected everything that does." Zala stared at the display. They've used warfare to evolve. Exactly. And now they're united against an external threat. We're not facing one enemy, Commander. We're facing the combined military wisdom of an entire species that has spent 10,000 years learning how to fight. For the first time in her career, Supreme Commander Zala Voss felt something approaching fear. She had conquered 8 worlds, but she had never faced anything like this. The humans weren't just another species to be conquered. They were something the galaxy had never seen before, a civilization that had turned war itself into their greatest strength. Set course for the nearest Imperial base, she ordered. The Emperor must know about this immediately. As the Valian fleet jumped into hyperspace, Zala looked back at the small yellow star. Somewhere in that system was a blue and green world that had just become the most dangerous place in the galaxy. The humans didn't know it yet, but they were about to face the full might of the Valian Empire. But the Valians didn't know something either. They had just discovered the one species in the galaxy that had been preparing for this war for 10,000 years. Earth wasn't just a world. It was a forge where the ultimate warriors had been shaped by countless battles, endless conflicts, and the unbreakable human spirit. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when an unstoppable force met an immovable object, and for the first time in 3,000 years, the Valian Empire was about to face an enemy that wouldn't surrender, wouldn't retreat, and wouldn't be conquered. The war between the star's greatest empire and the galaxy's ultimate warriors was about to begin. The test of strength. Emperor Valdris stood in the center of the Imperial war chamber, a massive room carved from a single piece of black crystal. The walls displayed star maps showing the 800 worlds under Valian control. Each conquered planet glowed with soft blue light, a testament to 3,000 years of unstoppable expansion. The Emperor was ancient, even by Valian standards. His silver skin had darkened with age, and his violet eyes held the wisdom of countless victories. He had personally overseen the conquest of over 200 worlds, and no species had ever successfully resisted his forces for more than a few days. "Show me this planet that has caught your attention," he commanded. Supreme Commander Zala Voss activated the chamber's central display. The image of Earth appeared, spinning slowly in the holographic projector. "Emperor, this world is unlike anything we've encountered. The humans have turned their entire planet into a military fortress. Elaborate, every aspect of their civilization is influenced by warfare. They've been fighting continuously for over 10,000 years. They don't just have armies, they have hundreds of different military traditions, each one refined through centuries of combat." Emperor Valdris studied the image. The planet looked peaceful enough, with blue oceans and green countenance, but the detailed scans revealed something disturbing. Cities were built with defensive considerations. Transportation networks were designed to move military supplies. Industrial centers could be rapidly converted to weapons production. "They've militarized their entire species," Zala continued. "Every human receives some form of military training. Every human settlement can become a fortress. Every human citizen can become a soldier." "Interesting," the Emperor mused. "But they're still primitive. Their technology is thousands of years behind ours." "Yes, Emperor, but they compensate with tactics, innovation, and sheer determination. Our encounter with their patrol ship demonstrated capabilities we didn't expect." The Emperor accessed the combat data from the encounter. He watched as the small human vessel outmaneuvered 3 Valian battlecruisers, using asteroids as cover and unpredictable movement patterns to avoid destruction. "One ship did this." "Yes, Emperor. And according to our analysis, it was not even one of their military vessels. It was a civilian exploration ship with minimal weapons. Emperor Valdris felt a stirring of interest. In 3,000 years of conquest, he had grown bored with easy victories. Perhaps these humans would provide the challenge he had been seeking. We will test them, he decided. Select a small target, something isolated from their main world. We'll measure their true capabilities before committing to full conquest. Admiral Kexthorn, recently promoted after his excellent reconnaissance work, stepped forward. Emperor, they have mining colonies in the asteroid belt. Small settlements with minimal defenses. Perfect for testing their response. Excellent. Take a battle group. 5 ships should be sufficient. Destroy one of their mining stations and observe their reaction. In the Ceres mining colony, General Sarah Mitchell walked through the low-gravity corridors of the main administrative complex. Ceres was the largest asteroid in the belt, and humans had been mining it for over 50 years. The colony housed about 10,000 people, mostly miners and their families. Sarah was a career military officer who had been assigned to colonial defense. She was in her 40s, with graying hair and sharp green eyes. Most people thought colonial defense was a quiet assignment, but Sarah had studied military history. She knew that remote outposts were often the first targets in any invasion. General called Lieutenant Tom Parker, her communications officer. We just received a priority alert from Earth Command. Unknown alien vessels are approaching the outer colonies. Sarah moved to the command center. How many vessels? 5 large ships, ma'am. They matched the configuration of the ships that encountered. Captain Rodriguez. Sarah activated the colony's defense systems. Ceres hadn't been built as a military base, but she had spent months improving its defenses. The asteroid's mining tunnels could be converted into defensive positions. The industrial equipment could be modified into weapons. The mining ships could be armed for combat. Alert all mining stations, she ordered. Implement defense protocol. 7. All civilian personnel to the deep shelters. All qualified personnel to combat stations. The Valian battle group arrived at Ceres with overwhelming confidence. Admiral Kexthorn stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the large asteroid grow larger on the screen. Intelligence reports indicated approximately 10,000 humans lived on the rock with minimal defensive capabilities. Begin the attack, he ordered. The 5 Valian ships opened fire with their plasma cannons. The surface of Ceres erupted in explosions as mining facilities were destroyed. Atmosphere leaked from damaged domes, and debris floated away into space. Target destroyed, reported the weapons officer. No resistance detected. Scan for survivors, Kex ordered. The scans revealed something unexpected. Most of the humans were still alive, hidden deep inside the asteroid. They had retreated into the mining tunnels, converting the entire asteroid into a fortress. Deploy ground forces, Kex commanded. Clear out the tunnels. The first wave of Valian soldiers landed on Ceres in assault shuttles. They were elite. Troops armed with plasma rifles and protected by personal energy shields. They had conquered dozens of worlds and never faced serious resistance. They entered the mining tunnels expecting to find scared civilians. Instead, they found hell. The tunnels had been converted into a defensive maze. Every intersection was a potential ambush point. Every corridor was a killing field. The humans had turned their mining equipment into weapons of war. Sergeant Lisa Park, a former military engineer who had been working as a mining supervisor, led the first ambush. She had spent the last 3 hours rigging industrial explosives throughout the tunnel system. Now, she whispered into her communicator. The explosion brought down 1/2 kilometer of tunnel, crushing 6 Valian soldiers. But that was just the beginning. The humans had spent years learning every inch of the asteroid. They moved through service tunnels the aliens didn't know existed. They struck from above, below, and behind. Mining laser cutters became precision weapons. Industrial haulers became mobile gun platforms. Even maintenance robots were rigged with explosives and sent against the invaders. "What is this?" demanded the Valian squad leader, Kex Varan. "These are miners, not soldiers. Miners who've been learning military tactics for months," replied Sergeant Parg over the colony's intercom system. "Welcome to human warfare, alien. We don't have your technology, but we have something you don't. What's that?" 10,000 years of experience turning anything into a weapon. The battle raged for hours. The Valians had superior equipment, but the humans had superior knowledge of the battlefield. Every time the aliens thought they had cleared a section, new attacks would come from unexpected directions. Dr. James Wong, the colony's chief medical officer, had converted the hospital into a command center. He wasn't a soldier, but he had studied military history as a hobby. Now he was coordinating defensive operations throughout the asteroid. "Squad 7, fall back to Junction 12, he ordered. "Squad 3, prepare the mining charges at level 5. "Squad 9, activate the ventilation system traps." The Valians found themselves fighting an enemy that used the environment as a weapon. Ventilation systems became gas delivery networks. Mining elevators became traps. Even the asteroid's low gravity was used against them. "Sir," reported a Valian soldier, "they're using the mining equipment to reshape the tunnels. They're creating new passages and blocking others. The terrain keeps changing." Admiral Kexthorn watched the battle from orbit. His ground forces were taking heavy casualties, and they hadn't even reached the main population centers. This was supposed to be a simple extermination operation. "Status report," he demanded. "Heavy resistance, sir. The humans have fortified the entire asteroid. They're using tactics we've never encountered before. Our soldiers are trained for open warfare, not this kind of tunnel fighting. Send reinforcements." "Sir, we've already committed 3 full battalions. That's more troops than we used to conquer the entire Kellic homeworld." Kex stared at the tactical display. The humans were holding positions throughout the asteroid, using a combination of prepared defenses and mobile strikes. They moved like they had been training for this exact scenario. "How can miners fight like this?" "Sir, our intelligence was incomplete. These aren't just miners. Many of them are former military personnel. Others have been training with mining equipment for years. They've essentially turned the entire asteroid into a military base." In the deepest levels of Ceres, General Sarah Mitchell coordinated the defense from her command bunker. She had expected to hold out for a few hours, buying time for Earth to send reinforcements. Instead, her people were actually winning. "General," reported Lieutenant Parker, "we've pushed them back to the surface in 3 sectors. They're requesting reinforcements from their ships." Sarah smiled grimly. "They came here expecting to fight helpless civilians. Instead, they're facing humans who've been preparing for this fight their whole lives. Ma'am, we're getting reports from other mining colonies. The aliens are attacking them too." Sarah activated the colony's long-range communication system. "All stations, this is Ceres Command. Implement full defensive protocols. Show these aliens what happens when they attack human colonies." Across the asteroid belt, the pattern repeated. The Valians attacked mining stations, expecting easy victories. Instead, they found prepared defenses, innovative tactics, and absolutely relentless resistance at the Vesta mining station. Chief Engineer Mike Torres had converted the station's mass driver into a weapon. The device, designed to launch containers toward Earth, now fired chunks of metal at incoming alien shuttles. "Direct hit," reported his assistant. "That's 3 shuttles down. Reload," Torres ordered. "We've got plenty of ammunition." At the Palace Colony, Administrator Janet Kim had organized the civilian population into defensive units. Cooks used kitchen equipment to create improvised weapons. Maintenance workers used their tools to build fortifications. Even children helped by running messages between defensive positions. "They're learning," Kim reported to her staff. "The aliens are adapting to our tactics, but we're adapting faster." Admiral Kexthorne watched his carefully planned operation fall apart. What should have been a simple demonstration of Valian power had become a costly battle against an enemy that refused to die. "Casualties?" he asked. "Significant, sir. We've lost over 200 soldiers and 6 shuttles. That's more than we lost in the entire conquest of the Drakmor system. And the humans, still fighting, sir. Every time we think we've cleared a position, they attack from somewhere else. They're using tactics from dozens of different military traditions. It's like fighting multiple enemies at once." Kex studied the tactical reports. The humans were using everything from ancient siege warfare to modern guerrilla tactics. They combined strategies from different historical periods, creating a defensive system unlike anything in Valian military doctrine. "Sir," reported his intelligence officer, "we're detecting reinforcements approaching from Earth. Multiple human vessels, armed and moving fast." "How many?" 37 ships, sir. "They're using the same tactics as the first ship we encountered. Unconventional movement patterns, using asteroids as cover." Kex made a decision that would haunt him. "Withdraw. All forces, return to the fleet." "Sir, we're retreating. We're regrouping." This was supposed to be a test of human capabilities. The test is complete. As the Valian forces retreated, the human defenders of Ceres emerged from their tunnels. They had lost friends and family, but they had also achieved something unprecedented. They had forced the mighty Valian Empire to retreat. General Sarah Mitchell stood in the main dome of Ceres, looking out at the approaching Earth fleet. The reinforcements were arriving, but they weren't needed. The colonists had already won. "Lieutenant Parker," she called, "send a message to Earth Command. Tell them the aliens have been repelled. Tell them we're ready for whatever comes next." "What do you think will come next, General?" Sarah thought about the implications. The aliens had tested human defenses and found them stronger than expected. They would return with greater force, better tactics, and more determination. "War," she said simply. "Real war. The kind humanity has been preparing for since we first picked up weapons." Admiral Kexthorne returned to the Imperial fleet carrying news that would shock the Valian Empire. The humans weren't just primitive barbarians. They were something far more dangerous, a species that had turned warfare into their greatest strength. "Emperor," he reported, "the humans are not what we expected. They fight with a combination of technological innovation, tactical flexibility, and absolute determination. They turn every disadvantage into an advantage." "Explain." "They used mining equipment as weapons. They turned asteroids into fortresses. They coordinated multiple defensive strategies simultaneously. Most importantly, they refused to surrender, even when facing overwhelming odds. Emperor Valdris studied the battle reports. The humans had inflicted serious casualties on elite Valian forces using inferior technology and improvised weapons. More disturbing, they had done it while defending multiple positions simultaneously. They're not just warriors, he realized. They're a warrior species. Every human is a potential soldier. Every human settlement is a potential fortress. Every human tool is a potential weapon. Yes, Emperor. And they're united against us. They've already begun coordinating their defenses throughout their solar system. Emperor Valdris felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries. Respect for an enemy. The humans had earned that respect with blood and determination. Prepare the full invasion fleet, he ordered. If we're going to conquer these humans, we'll need everything we have. Emperor, are you sure? They're just one species on one world. No, Valdris replied, staring at the tactical display. There's something we've never faced before. They're a species that has spent 10,000 years learning how to fight. And now they're going to teach us what war really means. The test was complete. The Valian Empire had learned that Earth wasn't just another world to be conquered. It was a forge where the ultimate warriors had been shaped by countless conflicts. And those warriors were ready to defend their home against any threat. The galaxy was about to witness the greatest military confrontation in its history. The unstoppable force of the Valian Empire would meet the immovable object of human determination. And for the first time in 3,000 years, the outcome was uncertain.